Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining Meditation on Mondays with Iya Kemi, Mindful Mondays. How is everyone doing today? If I can get your cameras on and we can love on one another and see each other's faces, since it's been quite some time for some of us. There was a misunderstanding and a little miscommunication about last week, and I missed you guys. I sat around for about 30 minutes waiting, and then to find there was miscommunication. So I appreciate you being present today, for showing up for yourself, for the have this good life that we are here to live. As you have noticed during the slideshow, or if you did not notice during the slideshow, today's word and focus and intention is rebirth. Rebirth. Now, for me right now, as I say that word, I have these little chills going all over my arm. And it could be because I had an eventful weekend and today was a rest day. And in all of the confusion, I said I would be present because I know that you guys were going to be present. So I wanted to show up, even though this is every first and third Monday. This month is a special month for whatever reason, because it's the second, fourth month of this month instead of the first and third. So life sometimes shows us how we have to adjust and we have to make room for shifts and changes and allow ourselves to be rebirthed in the process of that. So with the word that I put into the space today, and you know how I do with the word and the intention setting and things of that nature. So whoever wants to share first on how they relate to the word rebirth and what the word that they want to put in the space as it pertains to the rebirth. You know, I don't call names, but I can call names.
Would you give us some insight to what you think about rebirth, just to get me started?
That sounds like a plan. I love that. So for me, rebirth is every day. We lay down and we wake up to a new day. So we have the opportunity to do a new day differently. Birthing means to me bringing something to existence. You could be birthing a project idea. Birth is not always a child, but it could be childlike energy if you look at it in that manner. So if I'm working on a project, if I operate with a childlike mindset, I see this as an opportunity to be born again or to rebirth myself and to see another layer of myself, because we are multidimensional beings. And so without putting the religious aspect on it of being born again, it is just the general energy. If you look at some plants, there are some plants that they close up at night, or some close up during the day and they open at night, and vice versa. So to me, that is sort of a rebirth when it comes to just nature in itself, just as the ebb and flow of waves. To me, that's some form of a rebirth. A resurrection of a new leaf on the tree. The tree hasn't changed its roots. The tree may be getting old, but those roots are deeply, deeply into the ground and grounded. So we as human beings, we lose sight of that groundedness, and we lose sight of what death truly means, because nature has its season. A tree has it goes through its cycles, where you will, one minute you'll see it being this beautiful green leaf, then it goes to yellow, red, orange, and then it falls off. But then a new leaf is born at some point in that space. So that is the rebirth, to see that there's always new opportunities if you allow old things to die. So does that answer your question, Elaine? Perfect. Thank you. Hello, Miss Adams.
Hi. For me, rebirth means growth or maturation.
I love that. So that is the word we're putting in today, growth or maturation. Yummy. I relate to that. So that is 2 words that you put in. So thank you for both of those, because some people don't like to mature. Some people don't like to grow. And so in that is the rebirth. Miss Benton, I think I see you unmuted.
Yes. sort of like a, what am I trying to say? New beginning.
I like
yeah.
new beginnings. They are definitely that. So today it's a new start, a new beginning. I love that word as well. And Miss Phyllis, I see your hand raised. What word would you like to put in the space? I read your lips, but I don't think anyone else might have been able to read them.
Transformation.
Thank you for putting transformation in there. I like even the breakdown of that word. You know, there has to be form to something in order to transform. And so I really like that you added that word to the space. And Miss Elaine, what word would you like to add to the space?
I like renewal.
Oh, got chills with all of these beautiful words. So renewal. So those words are in the chat room if you want to use those words to meditate with for the next 2 weeks. But I want us to do some sort of meditation that focuses on a space and time that you're looking to be born again from. Now, yes. Oh, sorry. I thought she said Iya. So with this rebirth and transformation, I want us to take a journey back to childhood, in a sense, to be able to bring the inner child forward in the now. A good example for me, I like blowing bubbles from every now and then now, all of a sudden, because I'm back tapping into my inner child. So in what ways? Because oftentimes as we get older, we suppress some things because of the trauma that we have been through and experienced. And we forget about those joyful moments, those childlike moments, those innocent moments. And we become more of judgers of things, and because we have forgotten the innocence of life. And so when the ego comes in at the age of 7, we start looking around, judging and deciding what's right for us and what's wrong for us. And then we have people telling us those things. Some people may not have had a good childhood, but there were good moments in time. And so when we have that trauma, sometimes it takes precedent when the inner child is just saying, hey, I'm here, remember me. So we need to tap into those moments in time to bring more of those moments in time. It's like the law of attraction. The more you focus on one thing, the more it becomes a thing, you know? So we want to focus on the good moments in our childhood, teenage years, whatever was a good moment during that time, during this meditation. During this meditation, we're going to take a journey in nature that is beautiful for you and comfortable for you. Some people don't like the ocean, and there's things at the ocean that may cause fear. Some people don't like being in the forest. But whatever is for you, if you know that that is your safe space, when we take this journey, that's what I would like you to go into. Listen to my voice. It will be probably a 10-minute, maybe less. Is 10 minutes too long for you guys, or is that just right?
That's okay.
That's just right. So we're going to go into a 10-minute meditation, and then we can go ahead and discuss, if you want to share what it is that you saw, experienced, felt, smelled. We are going to incorporate all of our senses in this moment. I'm only going to guide you. I'm not going to give you any input. So whatever words that I may say, if I say ocean, forest, you will be the one choosing your location. You will be the one that will be tapping into your senses of what you smell. Even if I say, hey, you might smell a fresh baked pie that is sitting out the window of somebody's house in the country. Whatever that looks like for you, allow yourself to journey into that. We will give thanks and gratitude to this space and time. And with the breath, as always, I want you to go at your pace that is comfortable for you. But allow yourself, if you can, to allow your breath to go beyond your heart into your stomach. It doesn't have to be deep and long, but it could be, again, at your pace. So on the count of 3, I want you to close your eyes, make sure you're in a comfortable space that would allow you to journey. Hopefully you have water if you get parched during this 10-minute meditation. so that you're able to quench your cells as we go through. All right, on a count of 3, we're going to take an inhalation again at your pace and an exhalation at your pace. 1, 2, and 3. Inhale. As you come into your breath in the now, I want you to imagine yourself sitting facing the east. For the east is where the sun rises. Everything begins on the east. Look at your surroundings that you are facing outside of the sunrise. Is it at a beach? Is it at a park, forest, a home? Wherever you are safe, this is the space that you want to be looking at. Now turn your attention in direction to the west, about face. Looking at those things that have already passed, have already gone away. You've already experienced it. Giving thanks and praise to the south, for that is which our ancestors support us, guide us, protect us, those that went before us, the honorable ones. As you turn and look to the north, the direction of the unseen, the unknown, the future. Visualize yourself in this comfortable space with no worries, no concerns. Give yourself time to look up to the heavens, the sky, where the clouds are or no clouds are. Whatever that looks like, we give thanks and praise to the sky as we look at the stars and go beyond in galaxies that our minds only will allow us to go individually. Now look back down at yourself as below, for we know that all things are connected. Smiling on yourself and allowing your own personal star to shine. As you look within yourself, see your light within yourself get brighter. As that light gets bright, see it connecting with all of your loved ones and those that you come encounter with. Giving thanks to the inner child as you connect with these individuals and you see their inner child. Now allow yourself to feel the gentle breeze. Maybe with ease and with grace that this breeze goes along your skin. Feeling what you feel, the sensations of what it feels like in the space that you're in. Do you hear any sounds in nature? Or does anything come up with people? Allow yourself to breathe in the areas where it may feel tight when you're in the space of comfort. Again, this is your safe space. Giving thanks and praise for the rebirth. The rebirth of a new version of you. Removing the layers, the trauma. Seeing the childlike version of you skipping, jumping, playing, being childlike. See the transformation of who you've grown and matured into being. Congratulate yourself for how far you've come in the transformation from being a little girl into this beautiful, renewed, mature being that you have become. Remembering all the people that were part of your journey to get you to the now. The things in nature that have come across your path, animals, insects, whatever that may be that sticks out to you. Allow yourself to have a new beginning to integrate this inner child into your now. See yourself hugging your inner child, the little girl, the younger version of you. Tell her you love her. Tell her that you still hear her. Tell her that you are strong and confident. See yourself wiping away any tears that she may have cried and no one else did. See yourself laughing amongst your friends. As we come into the now and the present moment, allow yourself to see you doing those things in the now as your new beginning. See yourself laughing with your friends. See yourself even playing a game that you may have played as an inner child or a girl. As we come back into the now, hug yourself physically in the now. Wrap your arms around you. See what that feels like. So you need to rub any part of your arm, your chest. Are you gracing your hair? How are you tending to your now? As you emerge into this newness of understanding that the inner child is here and always has been, and that this is a playground and we're here to play on it. Create what that looks like for you in the now. Now, as you are in the space that you're in, I want you to prepare yourself to depart from this space, whether it's walking back to a door or into another room that you identify as your safe space. I want you to prepare to walk to that door. As you walk to this door, I want you to smile at your past, giving gratitude to the past experiences, sending love and light to the people in those past experiences, releasing all anger, frustration, doubt, and insecurity. And in doing that, you allow yourself grace. You allow yourself the opportunity for rebirth. And it shows your growth and maturity. As you step through the door, I want you to realize that it is a new beginning to a new perspective so that you can rebirth yourself into the direction that will help you fulfill your destiny. After you exit that space, breathe a couple of times and see what it feels like and what you connect to. Giving gratitude to the now, giving gratitude to the past, and giving gratitude to the future. For it is our past that has made us into who we are now, with the wisdom, the growth, and the maturity to begin again. Sure. So whenever you are ready at your pace to open your eyes, move, shift, come back into the now, please feel free to do so. How's everyone feeling? I know journeys sometimes take you to places that no one else can explain but you. So I am grateful to any of you who would like to share in this space.
Well, I was disturbed because I was expecting 10 minutes of silence of my own meditation. So it bothered me after you gave us go to the east, go to the north, go to the west. I thought that then there would be quiet. So I felt I wasn't able to really focus. And
Okay. I appreciate you sharing that. I truly, truly do. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else want to share? Yes, Miss Benton.
I went all the way back to I was born in Nacogdoches, Texas. And I used to go down to my friend's parents' ranch farm, and they grew sugar cane. And I remember, we'd get the sugar cane and we'd cut off and we, suck the juice of the sugar cane, And I really went back, and I really enjoyed that. I said, wow, And then another thing that I remember as a kid is we used to play jacks. Remember jacks?
Yes.
My girls could never play jacks. I mean, I would ring the doorbell, pickers, nobody could beat me. They'd be sitting waiting on their turn, and I never would miss. So I was all the way back to on the front porch playing jacks.
Awesome.
So it was kind of nice. The only thing I was confused with the north, east, south. I kept saying, okay, the south. The only thing, where's the south? Where's the north? And I just got confused there,
Okay.
I try to remember that. Only way I can remember is I can remember. If I'm on 580, going towards San Jose south, going towards West Oakland is the north, west. So
Okay.
I did that, because I couldn't really figure out, but otherwise I did enjoy, I forgot about the memories as a kid, and it was good to just go back there and see what that felt like. Anyway, I enjoyed that. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. It just gave me chills because when you said jacks, the inner child in me was like, I'm about to go get me some jacks today. I can
I used
find
to tell my girls, I said, you have to throw the ball up, and they could never do it.
That was one of my favorite things to do as a child. So I appreciate you sharing that childlike memory because it definitely ignited a part of my childhood memory. And even with you sharing Nacogdoches, my mom currently stays in Nacogdoches, and sugarcane was one of my favorite things to do as well. So
Yes.
I really, truly appreciate that. I do acknowledge what you said about the directions because that does tend to throw people off sometimes, right? Because oftentimes we don't think of we think of direction in a visual sense of needing to, okay, I know that this is on the west or this is on the east. Yeah. What I tend to do with people is more so looking to your right or your left or up or down. Okay. Sometimes when I find out that people, it kind of throws them off. Mm-hmm. But another thing that I do with meditation when it comes to direction, sometimes I just say, think of your continent. and think of East being New York and West being California and so on and so forth. So
Yes.
I will definitely keep that into account because all feedback is good feedback for me. So I appreciate you sharing that, Miss Benton.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Miss Phyllis, did you want to share?
Yeah, I did have a problem with the direction because I'm not good at north, south, east, and west. I really liked how you kind of compared it to, I think you said the south being the ancestors,
Mm-hmm.
the north being what's to come,
Mm-hmm.
that's the future, and the east being, I think the west being where you've come from, and the east being what's in front of you. That
Mm-hmm.
I could kind of that I could relate to.
Okay.
Get caught up in which way am I supposed to stand. So I like that, and I
Okay.
really like that analogy about the ancestors and the future and the past and the present. I really appreciated that.
Oh, thank you.
I had a hard time with uh trying to go back to the childhood because, and I won't say I never say it was bad, it just wasn't the best. But what stood out the most is I remember my grandmother always fixed coffee first thing in the morning. So for me, coffee always to this day represents home. It represents stability. I love coffee. I love just the smell of coffee wakes me up. But I'm a coffee addict, and I was I never, up until today is the first time I realized the significance of coffee in my life. It's one of the few things about childhood that was very positive that I've carried all the way into my seniorhood. So and I like that. I never it made me think back to my grandparents who were a very positive time in my life. So I really appreciated that. I
Mm.
it was almost before you got to something, I was already there. Like before you said hug yourself, I was already there. Before you said it's okay to, tell that person it's okay for them to cry, I was kind of sort of already there. I think this is, I can say the first time I can say that I was able to actually go back into childlike manner and know that it was actually okay. So I appreciate that because I've always been in a situation where they want you to go back childlike, and I it's not something I've been able to do because I think the unpleasantness overrides looking for, so you kind of forced me to look for something good, which was good. I came away with the thought that being childlike is actually a positive experience. It's not a negative experience. It's just that you might have experienced some negativity, but it's not a negative experience. And I appreciated that. I and I can see where it ties into the whole concept of rebirth, because it is. Children, are very innocent, and when I'm around my 5-year-old granddaughter, she forces me to be childlike. I have to run and play with her. I can't tell her grandma can't get up today. She doesn't understand that. Come on, grandma, you can do this. You can do this. So she brings out the child in me, and I like to surround myself with children because they allow me to maybe be what I think I didn't have or what I wasn't exposed to. It kind of helps me to relive through them what I maybe wanted to have.
Mm-hmm. Well, I truly, truly appreciate it. I got chills just going up my arm. The fact that what I love to point out is the fact that you thought about your grandmother and grandparents, and then here you are talking about your granddaughter. The legacies that are just constantly going in the rebirth of things, and for you to allow the space for you to even go there. And even when you think of coffee, that is, I believe in revering my ancestors. So I have a little area where all their pictures are. And sometimes when I get the craving for coffee, because I'm not really a coffee drinker, but if I get craving, I'm like, okay, which one of you guys, what's going on here? Because I don't like coffee like that. I smell it. So somebody wants their coffee, and I will make coffee and just put it in this area. It's not a worship thing. It's just honoring that I hear them, I see them, and I'm not forgetting their names, and I'm not forgetting them. The movie Coco is a very good example of what revering our ancestors are about. So thank you for bringing her into this space. Thank you I even see the child in your energy right now. So thank you for opening up to that. And I look forward to knowing that your relationship with your granddaughter is going to continue to expand, and she's going to continue to bring the childlikeness to your life. So thank you for your transparency. Miss Elaine, would you like to share?
I also had trouble. Not sure why. The last time we did this, it was very, very deep, and this time I couldn't get anywhere. And but afterwards, as I was listening to everybody, I realized that I could have used that time in prayer, because it happens to me a lot. If I try to meditate or guided meditation or anything like that, I often can't go along for whatever reason. But I do love to pray, even though I don't believe in God, but I do believe in prayer. So this was like an immense gift that I got today, that I can use that time so constructively.
Yeah, so I have a question, because I wanted to know and inquire what thoughts were going in your mind, if you don't mind sharing, during the guided meditation.
I think it's probably the same thing that the other person was saying, that sometimes I just need less talking. So that's just, but sometimes not. So good luck.
So it just depends on the energy that you're in the space.
I think so.
At that time. Makes sense. I thank you for sharing. Miss Adams.
Yes, and I did get something out of it. It's just that I needed more time. I was hopping from the ocean as an adult, sitting and watching the water, to going back to childhood, playing on the beach, and then riding my bike as a child, and roller skating, to walking as an adult. So I was getting something out of it, but I just needed more time in each space.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, because I've been getting a lot of feedback on different various things. So that's definitely good, because everyone's thought process and mind does not work the same. So I do have to take that into account, to pause in between. And that again goes to, I think we haven't had this word yet, but we need to pause sometimes. And so I appreciate you for sharing that reminder, to give time to pause and really sit in the energy that has been given, or the message that's being delivered. So in moving forward for the Miss Adams and Miss Elaine, with you not having the ability to be guided into this space or time fully, which Miss Adams, I want to get back to this beach for a second before I go there, because the beach is a very calming place. It's a place where we let things go. If you think of the ocean holds so much. We just don't know how much it holds. But at the same time, it lets go of so much, because every time a wave comes in, it's letting something go when the wave goes back to the water. So the fact that you were sharing the ebb and flow with us, that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. The fact that you even mentioned a bike and then roller skates. You went from a two-wheeler to, did you have roller blades on, or did you have some old school?
Old school.
So you had the old school. So you went from 2 wheels to 8 wheels.
Yeah.
So that's a beautiful thing to show, because even that is growth. 2 has a lot to deal with how you come into existence with another energy, right? So me plus one other person, 1 plus 1 really is not 2. It's really a third energy that's there. A person riding a bike, a 2-wheel bike, that the person is the third energy there, right? So you have the two wheels, but the two wheels created the energy to allow one person to ride it. The fact that you said, even with the roller skates, you know, we're just rolling through life, you know, and sometimes we forget to pause, you know, and with the 8 wheels at this time, 8 deals with, if you look at the number 8, some people write their 8s and they close it. Some people write their 8s and they leave it open. Some people write just 2 circles, right? So in that, when we look at that breakdown of how the number 8 is written, some people like going in loops. If you turn that 8 that's closed to the side, it looks like the infinity sign.
Right.
Some people love going in loops, right? And then some people like, I need to find my way out of this loop. And then the ones that write 2 zeros or 2 circles on top, some people have 2 worlds that they see. They know how to separate 2 different perspectives. So in what way are you allowing yourself to come out of the circle? Or what way are you allowing yourself to see 2 perspectives? Or what way are you infinite in your knowledge and trusting the process? And being okay with infinite time and infinite wisdom and infinite knowing, meaning that we know that nothing really dies, to be honest. It's just energy that's going to transform, transmute, grow into something else, mature into something else, just like a butterfly was once a caterpillar. And it's really a beautiful thing to just let go and trust the process. So although you were not able to be guided, your spirit still guided you to the place that you needed to be in the moment. Even if you were able to focus or not focus. So Elaine, with you sharing, hey, it's time to just pray in that moment. That's a beautiful acknowledgement, because even as I'm talking, you could be praying and I don't know it. You're just in your head, sharing what you have to share for you to stay focused. So I appreciate the polarity. I appreciate the multi dimensions of expression in this one space. Ms. Benton, I believe you have raised your hand. Would you like to share?
Yes, when you said 8, at Lifelong, they had a wellness and energy doctor. And wherever you have pain at, the energy, we do it 8, you know? You would do the 8, and believe it or not, your wherever it is, you know.
Imagine that.
Your energy, I mean, the pain could go away wherever it's at, that energy in that 8. So I still do it now, you know.
Oh, thank you for sharing that, especially for a Reiki master. That's a little tool that I can incorporate because I know the vibration and the energy of the number 8. So thank you for sharing that.
Okay.
Absolutely amazing. Miss Phyllis, so the words that we have had in this chat room for today's class.
I have today's.
Okay.
I was thinking, because I missed last week, and it could be at the end. I just missed the last class from last month.
Well, last week was this title. We didn't have a class last week. For the class prior to that, I believe we did not record that, but I will go through with the Good Life to bring that up and go there.
Okay, thank you.
Hopefully I'll be able to provide it. Hopefully I'll be able to.
For you saying the first class we didn't record, but I was present for the first class, and then the second class was supposed to be recorded.
Okay, I would definitely follow up with that.
Thank you.
No problem. Does anyone else want to share before we come to a brief close? And I'm going to go back to something. Yes, Miss Elaine.
Oh, the last time we were meeting, you talked about the previous homework, which was to make a list of 50 things that you were grateful for. So I wasn't with this class, but I went ahead and did it. I really love, like, gratefulness is like, it really resonates with me. And so it's like taken my gratefulness up to a new level, because getting to 50 is so much fun. Like at night, I just grab a notebook just like this, and I write down all my 50 things to be grateful for. And it's just pure ecstasy. So I'm so grateful.
Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. Well, I definitely want to give something that will kind of carry over into the next 2 weeks until we meet again. And it has a lot to do with tying everything together because, you know, without gratitude, you're not able to see the ability to rebirth yourself. And we often get, I don't like using stuck, but we often go in these circles and we forget to pause to allow ourselves to see the growth of how far we've come and how far we've matured. And it becomes it's like a boxing gloves need to be taken off, right? We get in the boxing match ring with ourselves, and we take these things as bad experiences, and it's the gratitude for these experiences that will bring in more abundance. And so with this week's theme being rebirth, in what ways can you see yourself rebirthing yourself? In this exercise, you can look at things that you want to let go of and things that you want to bring in. And in doing this exercise, you want to give gratitude to the things that you want to let go. Meaning sometimes we hold on to things in a negative light, when if we just shift our perspective, it can create bliss and it could create an aha moment. Oh, aha, but I learned this from that experience. Aha, but I got to meet someone new in that experience.
I let go of a pair of shoes. I actually threw them away.
Oh, well,
They were all comfortable, you know, black sandals. I wear them all the time. And this got to a point, you got to go. That's it. I'm sorry. No, and I had to let them go.
Sometimes we have to do that. You know, the feet and the shoes that we put on our feet is very, very significant of how we move in this world. Yeah. You know, and some people prefer to just walk barefoot while others look at them like, barefoot, you don't have shoes on your feet. Well, walking barefoot really allows you to connect with Mother Nature and the earth. But we become so society, what's the word? We become very judgmental in the society, so far disconnected that we even hold on to the smallest thing, like a pair of shoes we know we need to throw out. Yeah. You know, and we don't realize once we throw those away, guess what? We'll find a pair that was just as comfortable, if not even better. And I did that today. But in Nacogdoches, Texas, I was barefooted every day. I didn't wear shoes. You know, we didn't have on the dirt roads and everything, you know, I just didn't wear shoes. Yep. And that's the beauty of life. That's tapping back into the nature of who we are as beings, you know, and connecting with nature. So I really, really appreciate you sharing that, because it's a testament to just moving in this playground that we call life or earth. You know, this is really a playground, but we have to allow ourselves the rebirth process. And some people get stuck in the death process. And there's nothing wrong with death. Death is a beautiful thing, but does it really die? Does it really die? It doesn't. That's why our ancestors, sometimes you'll hear their voice and you have to look around, because it's energy. It doesn't die. So in this rebirth, again, the things that you want to let go and the things that you want to birth, bring into existence. It could be things with yourself. It could be a project, idea, goals. Tapping into the inner child. Did you love drawing as a child? Well, how can we incorporate that into the now? If you felt like your art was not seen or appreciated as a child, appreciate your art now. Just look at it and hang it up in your own place. Because as you appreciate it and you tap into that energy more, the more that your light will shine and you can share it with others and make someone else's day. So again, it's that inner child that I want to allow you to give yourself time to tap into. Those that have struggled, try the whole meditation by yourself without anyone speaking, and take yourself into that space. And then once you get from that space and come out of that space, you could write a love letter to this inner child if it wasn't a comfortable space. Tell your inner child all the things with all the wisdom that you've gained today and over the years. Tell the inner child what her future is going to be like. You became this amazing person and this, all of these beautiful things, because that's going to be the rebirth of you. You are multidimensional. You are living your past, your current, and your future right now. So in talking to this inner child, where do you see this inner child going? It doesn't have to be to an amusement park, because we know that when we get to a certain age, them roller coasters just don't work for us. But it could be the beach. And you can have your jacks, and you can have your water guns. You can have the things that you enjoy playing with. But also it's time to bring that child forward to say, hey, look, this is how we're playing now. And be okay with how you're playing now. This is the rebirth. So I look forward to the new beginnings from moving from today forward for you all. Whatever you got out of it, please share this experience and allow someone else to know what it is to go back and journey to the inner child within self. Those with children, please share these inner child moments with them so that they know mommy wasn't always strict. Mommy wasn't always like this. Mommy actually played. Mommy actually did things that I didn't know mommy did. You roller skate? You know, they think that I did that with my mom until I listened, but I asked questions, and some children don't ask questions, or some parents don't share. So I encourage you to share these childhood memories and watch how it heals you as you do it.
I like that.
Yeah, because our kids, they forget that we were teenagers once. They thought we just always been adults, and I'll say something like, how you know that? I've been 15 before.
Well, continue to share it with laughter and joy so that they can see that within you versus whatever they may have experienced growing up, because that is the rebirthing of, again, you. So I appreciate all of your shares today. I appreciate your time. Is there anything that anyone would like to share in the space? Did a word change? Did new words come into your thought process? Are there things that you feel that you could be supported in, Miss Elaine, with this process?
I wanted to say, after I've been doing my gratitude lists, I saw this quote that said, you know, try to take 60 seconds to think about how awesome you are, right? Well, if you have no self-esteem, that's not going to happen. So I said, all right, let me try to write 10 good things about myself. And boy, was that hard. But it was, I got there eventually. So I'm going to keep practicing. But
That is
how with the gratitude, I could just get there right away. But with the appreciating myself, no way. So
well,
anyway.
that's most of us, especially if you are a nurturer and you nurture everyone else before nurturing yourself. It tends to cause one to forget about themselves. One thing
I think has more to do with the societal roles in the world, how people treat you, how you've been treated. For me.
Well, I can absolutely relate to what you're saying. Absolutely. And sometimes we go as simple with appreciating, you know, the things in society. Oh, I graduated from school. I graduated from college. I got this award. I got that award. It's still a good thing because you did get to expand your knowledge. You did get to learn something totally different. But I think the appreciation can also come from doing mirror work and looking at yourself in the mirror and just even simply saying, you know what, I appreciate these eyebrows of mine.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate these things here. And sometimes even looking at the younger version of yourself can be like, wow, okay. Like for me, I love my grays. I'm sorry. I'm just like, oh, these are wisdom. At first, younger, I was like, I don't want to get gray. I want to dye my hair. And as I get it, it's like, this is beautiful.
That's true. I wish my daughter
How
would
far
hear
I've
you.
come. How far I've come. So I appreciate all aspects of myself. So I appreciate that transparency that you shared, because it is difficult for a lot of us to see, you know, the things that we need to appreciate within ourselves, you know. So I implore you to continue to write that list of things. Again, the letting go and the birthing things could be a part of that process too. Okay. Well, if there isn't anyone else that would like to share anything, I just want to give thanks and praise to you being present and showing up for you. Because again, this is more about you than the good life or even me. And for you to show up for yourself means that you are ready to rebirth, and you are rebirthing yourself every single day. So continue to allow yourself to see the maturity that you've gained and the growth of how far you've come and the transformations that you've gone through in life, to still be present today, because we know that some people did not wake up today. And with that thought in mind, you know that you have been renewed to have a new beginning on this day. So I really appreciate your time, your energy, your testimonies, you sharing and being present, and even the things that didn't work out for you. Because for me, that's another opportunity for me to rebirth myself and renew how I do things. So I appreciate you all. I look forward to seeing you on the what day is that? The last Monday of the month.
27th.
That it is. So I look forward to seeing you guys then at the same time at 1 p.m.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Elaine.
Everybody have a good
Hey.
holiday this weekend.
Everyone have a great week.
You
Thank
too.
you.
You
All right.
too.
See you soon.
Bye.
Thank you, Naya.